Thank you, scholars. Here's what we're doing in our online music video today. We will sing and move to Warrior Cry. We will discover the 4 instrument families, and we will sing Yellow Rose of Texas and Tap the Beat. At the bottom, I always write what the special day is. Today is School Nurses Day, so maybe you could send our school nurse some love, even though we're not in person and at school. She's working real hard these days. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is sing and move to Warrior Cry. Some of our classes have done this a couple times. Some of our classes haven't, just because we haven't had music as much. So we're going to break it down, but we're going to go pretty quick as we do it. So everybody needs to stand up and find their own space to move. I'm doing the same here at my house. All right. We curl our muscles under. And our first move is hunk. Alea, alea. Whenever we sing Warrior Cry, we do so with power in our voice. Hunk! Alea, alea. After we do that 2 times. And then we put our hands here, move our hands back and forth, and shimmy to the side. And sing tiki tiki tom tom in a high squeaky voice. We do that 2 times. So let's do that much together. Here we go. Curl your muscles under. Here we go. Hunk! Alea, alea, hunk! Alea, alea, tiki tiki tom tom, tiki tiki tom tom. The next piece, you stick your pockets out and punch the air in front of you, being very safe, making sure you don't hit anything. Your voice gets low and you sing booshka, booshka, booshka. We do that 2 times. And after that, I always feel like Tarzan when I do this one. Adia, 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 adia. Hey! We do that 2 times. Okay, let's start with the booshka, booshkas. Do it twice. And then the adi, adi twice. Here we go. Booshka, booshka, booshka. Booshka, booshka, booshka. Adia, 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 adia. Hey! Adia, 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 adia. Hey! All right, so that's the Warrior Cry. We're going to do it 3 times. First andante, walking speed, then allegro, skipping speed, and last we'll do it presto, fast. If you make a mistake, make it big. Luckily, we're all at home right now, so no one can hear you if you make a mistake. No big deal. Ready? Andante, go. Hunk! Alea, alea, hunk! Alea, alea, tiki, tiki, tom, tom. Tiki, tiki, tom, tom. Booshka, booshka, booshka. Booshka, booshka, booshka. Adia, 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 adia. Adia, 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 adia. Okay, now we're going to do it allegro. Skipping speed, so we're going to a little faster. If you make a mistake, make it big. Curl your muscles under. Ready? Here we go. Hunk! Alea, alea, hunk! Alea, alea, tiki, tiki, tom, tom. Tiki, tiki, tom, tom. Booshka, booshka, booshka. Booshka, booshka, booshka. Adia, 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 adia. Hey! Adia, 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 adia. Hey! All right, last time through, we're going to do it presto. Presto is fast, so running speed. If you make a mistake, make it big. Here we go. Curl your muscles under. Ready? Here we go. Hunk! Alea, alea, hunk! Alea, alea, tiki, tiki, tom, tom. Tiki, tiki, tom, tom. Booshka, booshka, booshka. Booshka, booshka, booshka. Adia, 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 adia. Hey! Adia, 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 adia. Hey! All right, you can have a seat. Take a sip of water if you're feeling tired. And we'll check in on our to-do list. So the first thing was sing and move to Warrior Cry. We did it. Check. Next, discover the 4 instrument families. Instrument families is something I usually do with 2nd and 3rd graders, but because I didn't have you as 2nd and 3rd graders, as students, we're going to do it as kind of like a quick review in our video today. So for this activity, you want a whiteboard and marker. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to get that ready. It should be nearby. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, on your whiteboard, we're going to make 4 sections, like this. If there's a different way you can divide your whiteboard up, that's okay too. We need 4 even sections. We're going to talk about the 4 instrument families today. And for each one, I thought to give ourselves a chance to be a little creative today and to kind of get some of these instruments in our brain, we're going to draw a quick sketch for each instrument family. So the first instrument family is the string family. The string family. So in your top box, you can write string. There's a lot of different instruments in each of these families, but we're just going to focus on a few for each, just because if I tried to list every single string instrument, that would take a very long time. So I think the instrument most people think about when they think about the string family is the guitar. So I have one here. So it's called the string family because it has all these strings on it, and some string instruments have 1 string on it. Some string instruments have, oh goodness, I've seen instruments that have like 40 strings on them. So a guitar has 6 strings usually. Some of them have 12 strings. If it's a 12-string guitar, bass guitars have 4. But usually a string instrument has this body that has strings. It usually has a hole in it. That's to create an acoustic sound, something that has resonance to it. The sound kind of bounces around. And then it has a neck. And then this top part is called a head. And they have all these things called tuning pegs on there. And that's what you can tighten or loosen to control the sound of the strings. So as I tell you about a few other string instruments, why don't we draw a picture of a guitar in that box that says string. That'll just help cement that and get that into our brain. So draw a guitar, body, head, neck, and that sound hole. And then some strings on there. The other instruments in the string family that I think we really should know are the orchestral string instruments. So that would be instruments like the violin, the viola, the cello, and the upright bass. All of them have a body, a head, and a neck. They all have strings. All of those orchestral instruments have 4 strings. But they're all kind of played in a similar way. A lot of times those orchestral ones will have something called a bow, which is like a long stick that's got horse's hair attached to it. Kind of looks like that. Then you pull that bow across the strings to make a sound. So that's the string family. The next family we'll talk about is the woodwind family. Woodwind. It's called the woodwind family because there are components made of wood, and you use your wind or your breath to make a sound. Woodwind. So we're going to do a quick sketch in that box of this instrument that I have here. This is called a clarinet. It's usually black. It has silver keys. If I push down different combinations of these keys, I can make different sounds. And it has, on a clarinet, this piece at the top that's made out of wood or reed, and that's what makes a sound. This usually has to be wet for it to make a sound with your spit. Kind of gross. But I'm going to try to make a little bit of sound so you can hear what it sounds like. Okay, that's as much as I'm going to get out of it right now because the reed's dry. Okay, so you can draw a quick little sketch of that instrument. So you have to blow into it to make a sound. It usually takes quite a bit of air, and it takes a lot of practice to make a good sound on a woodwind instrument. But it can make some really cool sounds when you hear it. So as you draw, here's my little sketch of a clarinet. It looks like a rocket ship. Of a clarinet. I'll tell you about some other instruments in the woodwind family. A lot of people think of the flute. There's also one called the oboe. Saxophone. I also have a saxophone, but it didn't have a reed, so I couldn't make a sound on it. Bassoon is another instrument. Piccolo is like a teeny tiny little flute. English horn, recorder. There's a bunch of them also, but those are the main ones. All right. So by now on your whiteboard, you should have a picture of a string instrument like my guitar and a woodwind instrument like my rocket ship clarinet. The next instrument family we're going to talk about is the brass family. Brass. It's called the brass family. Brass is a kind of metal, and traditionally, kind of throughout history, they've been made out of brass. So I'm going to show you my cornet, which is kind of like a trumpet. It looks like this. So in that part that says brass, you're going to draw a picture of this instrument. They're usually this gold color, and they usually have valves like these that you push down in different combinations to make sound. Not all of them do. There's one called the trombone that has a slide that you move. But they all do have a mouthpiece that looks like that you blow into, and you make a sound into it to make a sound. And then the air, you blow through it with your wind. Your air goes through these different tubes and comes out this part. That's called the bell. So I'm going to make a little bit of sound on the trumpet. I played trumpet for many years. So as you draw that, I'm just going to make a quick sound. If you were wearing headphones right now, you want to make sure maybe turn your sound down a little bit because trumpets can be kind of loud. Okay, so there's a trumpet. Cornet, kind of like a trumpet. So as you draw that sketch, oopsie, I'm going to tell you about the other instruments in the brass family. There is the trombone, there is the French horn, and the tuba. Those are the main ones. Okay, there's my brass instrument. The last family of instruments is the percussion family. Percussion, as you write that, I'm noticing the time, so we're not going to get to that last thing on our list today, and that is A-okay. We'll do it another day. Percussion. A percussion instrument is any that you hit or tap or shake to make sound. A lot of people think of like a drum when they think of percussion instrument. Yes, that's true. The instrument I brought to show you today is my tambourine. And I brought my tambourine because, like I said, you can use it in a hitting way. You can use it in a shaking way. And that's the most important thing to know about percussion instrument is that you use hitting or tapping or shaking motions to make sound. So you can't, you can hit a drum to make a sound, but you can't really shake a drum to make a sound, not all drums. So that's why I brought my tambourine, so I can hit it to make a sound, or I can shake it to make a sound. So let's draw a picture of that tambourine, just to remember that on our list. Draw a picture of a tambourine. And as you draw that picture of a tambourine, I'll tell you some other percussion instruments. All kinds of drums, snare drums, bass drums, other instruments kind of like tambourines, like triangles. Those are called auxiliary percussion. Gonkogis, go-go bells. Here's my tambourine. And then also fitting inside the percussion family is the keyboard family, which is like a mini family. It's like piano and harpsichord and organ and stuff because you hit and tap the keys and things inside hit to make sound. Okay, so those are the four main families of instruments. The string family, the woodwind family, the brass family, and the percussion family. We had one more thing on our list of things to do. Discover the four instrument families. Check. Last thing, we're not going to worry about it. Today is National School Nurses Day, so send our school nurse some love. All right, we have to do our train exit, and then our chant, and then our music class is done for the day. So breathe with me, 4th grade. Here we go. Repeat after me. Good, better, best. Good, better, best. Never let it rest. Never let it rest. Until your good is better. Until your good is better. And your better is the best. And your better is the best. Thank you, scholars. We'll see you next time with more music.